hype about living the dream? It's time for truth. This is the place for tools, power, and real talk so you can create the life you dream and deserve. Your ultimate life. Subscribe, share, create. You have infinite power.
Hey there, welcome to today's episode of Your Ultimate Life. I'm stoked. Today is another episode on building business, and it's one of my favorite things to do. And, you know, most people who get out of their 9 to 5, or maybe never had one, they think about building a business. When you only build one business, you end up with a job, because what ends up happening is you build yourself as a cog in the machine, and so all you have is a job. And the more cogs you are, the more tied down you are to the business. Now, that none of that's news. You know that, because if you're an entrepreneur of any kind or a business owner of any kind, you know exactly what I mean. You wear all the hats and it's all that struggle. So remember, the goal is to build the business so that it runs without you more and more. Now, to start with, that's not possible. And it can be possible, but not usually with your first business. So unless you buy a functioning business. But anyway, building a business is what we're talking about. So I'm recognizing, to start with, you're working in the business as well as to some degree on the business. And the more you can switch that to where you're working on the business, and that means, implementing systems and processes and things, ways to speed things up and funnels and stuff that operates automatically. The more you're able to do that, the more you're able to get out of it and work on the business instead of being in it as a cog in the machine. Because if you're a cog and, you stop or you sell the business, it's not worth anything, because you are usually a major cog, especially if it's built on your gifts and talents and skills like we've talked about. So that's just sort of a framework to think about. We're aiming right now, these 7 episodes, in building a business. All right. And I'm recognizing that usually your first business, you're in it. You're a cog, and that means that it's just a fancy job. And often you work more than you did in a 9 to 5 in someone else's business. All right. So episode 1 in these 7 was about building a business. What is the process? What are the characteristics you need to do to have and do to build a business? And that was number 930. Number 931 was developing a growth mindset, because they're the 2 different kinds of mindsets broadly, are a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Fixed mindset means you think things are the way they are, and they're going to stay that way. Growth recognizes the truth that everything grows or decays, and you are the one with your hands on the levers. That's where most of the struggle is, because we think it's external factors. It's not that they don't have an impact, but the main driver is us, me and you. The third one we did is finding your value proposition. So if you're going to run a business, start a business, there's 2 choices. You can sell somebody else's value proposition, and that would be drop shipping and, Amazon stores and all that. eBay. My wife ran an eBay antiques and collectibles thing. She's selling somebody else's stuff, right? And that's fine. Her value add was she could find really good stuff and find out histories of it, old antiques and things, and then market it really well. So she made not only selling other people's stuff, but she added value in a way that let her make more money. So what's your value proposition? The fourth one was creating products and services. So after you've discovered what you are going to add, what value you bring, and sometimes it's your triple helix, your superpower made out of your skills, gifts, and life experience. And I'm glossing over that because we've done whole episodes on that. And that may be, products and services. I just got through teaching a class this morning on how to write books, create keynotes, and create workshops and coaching programs from your own life journey. So your life experience has led you through many hardships and struggles. You've learned many skills, and you've got divine gifts. When you combine all that with your life experience, you can create something if that's the business you want to be in. But you have to create product and services no matter what kind of business you're in. The last episode, and that was the last one, and the one we just did is about marketing and finding prospects. So after you have products and services, or as you're developing them, you look at the market and see what is the need in the market. What do I know how to do? Are there people? Who are the people that want that thing that I know how to do? Examples for me is I teach music. That's not what I'm doing for my business. Another example is I edit books, not what I'm marketing for my business. The main thing that I am doing is I know how to overcome any obstacle and get to a goal, no matter how miraculous it might appear. I know how to do that. And that's what I'm teaching and selling as a coach and as a consultant, because my experience in life has taught me skills that are unusual, that have brought me into a position of being the ultimate alchemist. I know how to use science and magic to create impossible results and to help you do that. So that is the products and services that I have, and the people that I have for clients are people that have that yearning to do more, be more, create more, purpose, prosperity, joy, make a difference in the world, those kind of folks. And they come in droves because I have that skill. So today is number 6 of 7, and we're going to talk about closing deals and selling. So what are the skills required to close deals and selling? And you see, we're moving through the arc of creating a successful business. And the last one and the next one is going to be about growth strategies, because selling one widget doesn't get you a business and certainly doesn't allow you the opportunity to get more successful so you can get out of being a cog and then perhaps, have someone run your business and open another business and then learn how more and more to have a portfolio of businesses. But right now we're talking about that first one. And how do you close products and services? How do you close deals? Well, I don't know what kind of business you're having or what you're in. I have books. I have music that I sell commercially. I speak. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant in many different areas. I have leadership programs. Keynote speaking. I have lots of products that I've created about meditation, about how to create time. So those are all different things. And what I have doesn't matter. What I want you to do is you think about yours. Now, you either already have some that you're selling or you don't. If you have products and services, then we're going to talk about the specific of closing deals. If you don't, the other episodes before this are essential, because you can't, if you went in the grocery store and there was a shelf there not telling you what it was, but coming soon and it will taste good, it's not likely you'd get a lot of sales. Coming soon and it will taste good. Well, I talk to a lot of people, especially people who want to be coaches, who say, I want to help people. I really do. I know I can help you overcome barriers and blocks and obstacles, and I can help you step into your power. Well, that's like coming soon, and it's going to taste good. You got to be specific about what you want, or nobody's going to buy it. Nobody buys they used to say a pig in a poke, but that means something in a black bag. Just buy it. Now, that's not true that nobody does. Joy goes to a local Dutch store here in town, and they have a grab bag, and it's full of stuff. And you pay $20 and you get whatever's inside. Well, usually it's, things that have been in their store and they haven't sold. And so it's effectively like having a discount, only it's all put together in a bag. And the prices that each of those things were, when you add them all up, is way more than $20. And sometimes you get some really cool stuff. And sometimes you get stuff, there was a pair of shorts and a t-shirt in there. They were nice, but I don't think I'm going to wear them, probably give them away. But there were other things in the bag that made it worth $20, and I don't know. I didn't even know they sold clothes. That's kind of funny. But anyway, so they also had creams and jellies and other things that we do buy there anyway, in the Dutch, because it's a Dutch store. And I didn't realize there was anything special about their shorts and, like athletic shorts and, a t-shirt. So that's just an example of you do sometimes buy a pig in a poke. But let's talk about you closing deals. Now, you already know who your clients are. My question for you is, do you know exactly who they are? Can you tell me? I can tell you who mine are. Mine are people who are committed to growth, who are willing to work hard, challenge assumptions, and try new things they haven't tried before. In other words, they are coachable. They're willing to be coached. I've spent many years working with clients who weren't really coachable, who said they wanted stuff, but when we talk about the work required to get there, they're out. Too hard, too much dedication, got to change too many habits and practices. I don't want to do that. Okay, that's fine. I'm not telling people they need to do that. But if that's where you're at, then high performance coaching isn't for you. That's like an Olympic hopeful saying to their coach, well, I don't want to do that many laps. I don't want to do that many practices. There's got to be an easier way. And the answer is no, there isn't. There isn't. There's no royal road to geometry, which is what Euclid, I think, told the king, created the geometry and math and stuff. And the king said, I need you to teach me that. And Euclid said, there's no royal road to geometry, meaning you got to study and you got to understand everything. All right. So closing deals. So let's say you know exactly what you sell. You got a program, you know exactly who your most ideal client is, the person who desperately needs what you've got. Let's say you know that. What's missing is the client or potential client. They have to believe. They have to believe that your problem will solve, or your solution will solve their problem. They got to believe that. And when they believe it, and the next thing they have to believe is that the benefit that they get from having it solved is big enough that it way, way, way outweighs your cost. That it's big enough that it's just way bigger than what your solution costs. And when that happens, then you get to have a sale. So let's talk about how to make that happen. There's 5 steps to closing sales. Now, this is not counting the marketing and everything else. It's when you're talking to somebody, you're in there, you're in the store, if you're a salesman, or you're online. And this includes writing your copy or making videos. First, you have to understand for sure what the problem is that's being solved. You have to know in your own heart, you know exactly what it is. Now, if you're in person, like you're doing a sales call, that means you have to listen. You have to ask a bunch of questions. You have to ask a client what's going on for you now. What do you not have that you want? What's missing? What are the problems? What are you experiencing right this minute that makes life not work for you? Like, what is that? And you have to listen. You don't make assumptions. You don't interrupt. You don't answer sentences for them. You just let them speak, and you ask questions to keep it going so that at a certain point, after a few minutes, 10, maybe 15 minutes, I don't know, you know exactly what's wrong. And you know that. You've heard phrases, and when you do this a lot, you've heard the same things over and over and over again. And you also know what is the client's relationship to the problem. Meaning, what have they tried before? How big is the problem really versus in their mind? A lot of times, all of us do this. We believe the problem's a lot bigger than it is, and somebody outside can see a solution we can't see. So step 1 is you have to listen and ask enough questions so that you understand the problem. Now, if you're doing sales copy or sales video, this is tricky because you're presenting a monologue. When you do that, your monologue, your language in the video or the copy has to demonstrate that you understand the problem by stating the effects, empathizing with the pain, using the kind of language that's in the client's head. They used to say, enter the conversation that's going on in the client's mind. When you can do that, you're accomplishing the first 2 steps. Because step 1 is you fully understand the problem. Step 2 is the client or potential client believes you understand the problem. So you might understand it and they don't think you know. Yeah, but you don't know. And in a dialogue, that's easy to spot. And so you can keep asking questions and keep interacting till they believe you fully understand the problem. Deeply, completely. Now, in copy and in sales videos and sales letters, that's different, but both of those are accomplished together, demonstrating you do have a deep understanding in such a way that they believe you do because of how you've described the problem, its effects, its difficulties, the barriers to solution, etc. And that includes, digging into how long they've had the problem, what the solutions they've tried, all of those things so you can empathize completely with their frustrations, the failures, all that stuff has happened. So that's the first two steps. Make sure you know, you truly know, I know what this problem is. I get it. And that they believe it. Then step 3 is you know that you can solve this problem. So that's way different than understanding what the problem is. You can understand what the problem is. We can both be looking at a car that's stalled on the side of the road and the radiator's blown up, and we can both completely understand the problem, and we know we each understand the problem, and neither one of us can fix it. That's not what I'm talking about. So step 3 is you have to recognize the problem, fully understand it. They know you understand it. And now you know for sure that the product, this coaching, the consulting that you have solves this problem 100%. You know it because you've done it. You've seen it, you've done it, you know that you can solve the problem in spades. That's step 3, and you can't know that until you listen enough to know exactly what it is. Step 4 isn't going to be a surprise. Step 4 is your potential client believes, they believe you can solve the problem. Okay? And that can't happen until you believe you can solve the problem, because your level of confidence is transmitted through your energy of confidence. Your energy of confidence has to tell the truth. Don't pretend here. If there are pieces you don't know, say, well, this part I'm not sure about, but I'm sure we can find it. And if that's confidence and that's true, then you can say that. So steps 3 and 4, again, especially if you're doing copy or sales video as opposed to in-person sales conversations, you need to know for sure you can solve this problem, and then they need to believe it. Now, when you're writing your sales copy or creating sales videos, you're aiming at a certain demographic. You're aiming at a certain problem graphic, not a demographic, but a problem graphic, people with a certain set of problems. So what I aim at is people that have a yearning to serve, to add good to the world, to do good, to make an impact, and make cash with that impact. Okay, that's different than people that just want to make a bunch of cash. I don't work with those. I work with people who are focused on adding good to the world and want to make big cash with that impact. Those are my ideal client. Those are people I can help all day long and help them both make an impact and make cash doing it. So when you're doing copy and sales videos, you have to handle both of those things. And you can handle it with confidence because you're talking to a certain problem graphic, not demographic, as someone who has a certain problem. And so I make the assumption I'm talking to people who want to add good to the world, make a difference, and make money doing it. And I know I can help those. And so I can help you. If that's you, I can help you. If you want to add good to the world, make a difference, help people, that sort of phrase, and you want to make money, get well paid to do it, I'm your guy. Because that's exactly what I do. I know it's what I'm doing. And it's what many clients are doing. Every one of my clients has a yearning to do something good and make good money doing it. So that's the steps 3 and 4. Step 3, you know you can solve it. Step 4, the prospect knows you can solve it. That happens differently in an exchange than it does in written or video material. But that's the steps 3 and 4. Now, step 5 is the final one. You must demonstrate, whether it's written or video or in person, that your solution is worth at least 5 to 10 times what you're going to charge them. Hear that really well. You must be able to show them the solution that I have. I know I can solve it, and you know I can solve it. It's worth at least 5 to 10 times what I'm going to charge you for this. Because if it's not, why would someone invest? And you might think 5 to 10 is high. Everybody's threshold is different, but I aim at 5 to 10 times the value of what I'm charging, so it's a no-brainer. Right? So I'll give you some examples. If I'm helping someone write a book, and they're going to be in one of my coaching programs, and it's going to cost $10,000 for me to get them the book all written and published and, some stuff done for them, then I need to be able to show them how they're going to be able to make at least $50,000 from that process. Otherwise, the 10,000 is a crappy investment. So if you're going to solve a problem for somebody, and you know you can, and they know you can, you got to think, how am I going to show them that this is worth at least 5 to 10 times their investment? That's the key to getting people to buy, because when they see and they believe, wow, this is going to get me 10K, 5 minimum, but 5 to 10 times what I'm paying for it, I'm in. Where do I sign? Right? Because that's an easily a good investment. So those are the 5 steps. Okay. You understand, they know you understand, you know you can solve it, they know you can solve it. And the value prop is there where you can show that it's worth that. Now, in monologue, in a book or a sales letter or copy, you're going to have to make some assumptions to do that. But what you don't want to do is assume that the prospect is going to make all these leaps and build the bridges. You got to help them as much as possible. In a one-to-one, when I'm talking to somebody or talking to a group, and I was just doing that this morning, I showed them, the membership is going to cost you this, and here are the things you can create. The book you'll have finished, the programs, the keynote, the coaching programs, the kinds of things that they're going to create. And then I can show it's could be worth this. Now, I'm really clear with people. It will be worth exactly nothing if you're not willing to do the work. I don't ever hide that at all, because I don't want people that are looking for download and double click. I don't want people that think they're going to come in and change the world just by thinking about it. Thinking produces action. Action is what causes the result. And who we're being, our belief system is underneath all that. So we start with belief, and then our thoughts and emotions and actions and the creations that show up in the world. That's the powerful method. So there's another piece to this. As you're getting ready to do the showing, you have to, and I'm going to speak as though we're talking in person. I have to ask, and I have to know what a person's going to do. So you want to sell this product. You want to sell more of these. You want to sell more of these packages that you're offering. Because I work with messengers and people that want to change the world, they're often in consulting or coaching of some kind, consulting about leadership or coaching about, personal coaching or business coaching or something. And so then I have to ask, I get the opportunity to ask, how many clients do you have? How many do you want? What is your client acquisition process right now? What is the price per client? What's the lifetime value? How many more do you need? Why don't you have that right now? If you do nothing, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? If you don't make a change and create this investment in 6 months or a year, where are you going to be? And those are sometimes painful questions because it looks at the cost of doing nothing. The cost of inaction is often quite high. So going through that, that's an essential way to establish that 5 to 10x value. Because if we can talk about their client acquisition process, and they can see that changing how they think about and execute is going to add them 2 or 3 clients a month. And they say, well, what's the value? Well, each client is worth $10,000. Okay, so that's $30K a month. So paying $10,000 for this program is nothing, because in 2 months you'll have 60, 90, in a year you'll have 10 times, 20 times. I don't even know. I didn't do the math right, but way huge return on investment. But I don't make up those numbers. I help and ask the questions to let the client or the prospect tell me what that additional revenue will be. If you cut this efficiency, if this is gone, what does that look like? And I ask it as a genuine question because I don't pretend to know the answer. And sometimes people get optimistic, and so I help them not do that. I help them, cut it in half. If you only made half that improvement, what would it look like? And almost always, it's easy to demonstrate, even if you cut their estimates in half. It's very quick for them to earn a 5 to 10x return on the investment. So that process is key, whether it's saving money or creating new streams of revenue or increasing the lifetime value of each client. You have to go there with them. so that they can feel the tangible results. Otherwise, it's not very interesting to buy. You know that. You and I, we do that too when we're buying stuff. Now, you've heard of things like features, advantages, and benefits. Features, advantages, and benefits. Let's talk about those. The feature of a program. We're going to meet once a week for 6 months. That's a feature. Or a feature is, I have a powerful client avatar acquisition strategy where I can help you pinpoint your avatar determination strategy. I have a whole program on that. That's a feature. That doesn't tell me anything yet. The advantage is it's faster and more simpler. It's faster and simpler than any I've ever seen, and it will help you more rapidly target your exact potential clients. That's an advantage of my avatar pinpointing strategy. APS, avatar pinpointing strategy. Okay, the advantage of mine is that it's faster than anyone else's. It's better. And the benefit is always so that you can easily achieve that extra 2 clients a month you were just talking about. It's important because the benefit is the only thing the prospect wants. Nobody cares how many times we're going to meet. Nobody cares. I can claim and should claim, and so should you, that yours is faster, better, simpler. And if it isn't, you need to make it that way. Because if there's no advantage to your feature, you're going to have trouble selling. So you have to determine and create the advantage of the feature of your service. And the benefit is the only thing the prospect wants. And it always sounds like, so you can what? So you can get the clients you want, so that you can work 10 less hours a week, so that you can delegate more quickly, so that you can have the confidence when you stand up and give that next keynote, so you can knock them dead from the stage. That's what makes people go, whoa, yeah, I can see that. I've seen confident speakers. If I could get up and do that, whew, I'm in. So you have to sell features, advantages, and benefits. And remember that the only thing the prospect's interested in is the benefit. The feature is just the name of what you name it, and the advantage is why it's better than others. So they're all essential, but the one that closes the deal is the benefit. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today is your claim. If you don't have a claim about who you are or why you're different or better, you're going to have a hard time competing because every market is saturated, some more than others, right? There's tons of book writing programs. I can claim absolutely, mine is absolutely the best. I teach people not only how to write up the first draft of their book, how to get it edited, how to get it up on the selling platforms, how to get bestseller category, #1 international bestsellers. And then how to take that book and leverage it into a speaking circuit career or a product or a coaching program or a service. So my claim is that it's better than anyone's because I do that. And the benefit to you if you're writing a book is so that you can make the income and the impact you've been aching to make, so that you can finally have your voice heard, your story told, and have people clamoring for your program, your coaching, your impact, your voice. So there's a feature, advantage, and benefit. And my claim is I am absolutely the ultimate alchemist for personal transformation. And that means changing whatever needs to be changed so you can get from where you are to the goal you want to achieve. The only thing in the way of any of us, you or me, is our attitude and belief. Because when you know you can get somewhere, there's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing that can stop you. It is our doubts and our fears that get in the way. The stories we tell ourselves about our worthiness, what we can or can't do, what's possible or impossible, all that's just an opinion. When you and I have the energy of certainty, you're invincible. you're invincible. So this episode's been about the activities associated with closing deals, 5 steps. We've talked about features, advantages, and benefits. We've talked about the difference between in-person convo and sales letters and copy. And there's nuances on all those, but that is a general outline. Now, here's your invitations. If you want my help to dig into the details, get a hold of me because I'm a world-class expert at all of those. I can help you make that happen for you faster and better than anybody. I know because I've done it for me, and my doing it wasn't fast. I made a lot of mistakes. And it's one of the benefits you get. You don't make so many mistakes. You don't take so long. So that you can do it faster, do it more effectively with less face plants, and get to the goal you want sooner than you otherwise would. Way sooner. So that is the 6th episode of our business thing. And I'm inviting you to get a hold of me. Please reach out. Let me help you create your business. Let me help you get your message to the world. Maybe it's as simple as an appearance on one of my shows, television show or LA Talk Radio or here on this podcast. Maybe it's something more, deeper. Maybe there's a joint venture to have. Maybe there are all kinds of things we could do. I don't know. I won't know until we talk, but this is your invitation. My biggest invitation for you is to stop letting anything get in your way. Move forward boldly, clearly, with focus, and create your ultimate life.
Never hold back and you'll never ask why. Open your heart and this time around.
Right here, right now. Your opportunity for massive growth is right in front of you. Every episode gives you practical tips and practices that will change everything. If you want to know more, go to kellenflukigermedia.com. If you want more free tools, go here, yourultimatelife.ca. Subscribe, share.
Stand with your heart.